Hey y'all, I'm Erica, and welcome to my channel, Blooms to Bounty, where I show you how to grow food on a small budget and a busy schedule. And if you're here because you want to start growing your own food, let me be the first to tell you, girl, just start the garden. All right, y'all, so I'm taking it all the way back to the beginning. What you see here is my garden in March of earlier this year. It was a hot mess. There was dead things all around me, and I knew that I wanted to start growing in the spring season, so I decided to repurpose 1/3 of my yard into no-dig beds. This means that I'm not digging anything up in the ground to start growing. I'm literally just building the beds on top of the ground, on top of this area of my yard. So what I did was I gathered a bunch of free cardboard from a Facebook group, and I had been saving all of the boxes I had on my own until I had enough to begin this project. I'm almost done creating the foundational shape for the raised bed area, but I need to do something with that pile of leaves really quick to get that out the way. So now that I have the rectangular shape of the bed, I realized that I should have wet the cardboard before adding the leaves. Anyway, we're here now, so we just gonna get it done. So I wanted to make sure that I wet the area down really, really well before I added more leaves. And then the next step for me to do was to basically work out the shape of the raised beds. How many did I want? How long did I want them to be? I didn't really know what I was going to get until I put all the cardboard down that I had. So after having done that, I can kind of see how this was going to come together. And I knew that I wanted at least 4 to 6 beds. So I took all of my lawn bags, emptied out the contents on the foundation, and I started to spread it out, thin it out, making sure there's no plastic in there, dog poop, anything that I didn't want growing up under my food. So as you can see here, I'm just kind of creating the sections and making sure that I have a walkway in between the beds so that I could easily make my way through. I decided I needed a break from the raised bed project, and I decided to go to my shelf and water my pony's foot, my arugula, and my cilantro that was growing. Just a little feel-good energy before we continue with this project. At this point, I had commissioned some helpers and had my children go gather some leaves from our front yard and start gathering up these piles that we had in our backyard so that I could create some more raised beds. And I also went to my happy place and was watering some of my other beds and some newly planted veggies I had in the buckets over there. Gardening for a family of 6 is a lot, but also I have a lot of help at the same time. At this point, it was starting to rain, and I knew that we wanted to pick up the pace a little bit. So after I finished watering all the pots and beds around the garden, I decided to go gather some more leaves while the girls were still wrapping up those piles in the backyard. So as you can see now, I have 4 distinct kind of bed areas. I also have some repurposed soil and some compost off to the side that I wanted to start laying on the beds. Now, if I had more leaves, that would have been great. I just wanted these mounds to be a bit higher, but I was not aware of the height or the size of the beds before I started this project. So at this point, I knew that I needed to regroup. And as you can see, there will be a part 2, so stay tuned.